7 pitch. Harper hits one in the air, left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life. It is bedlam at the bank.
Swung on, crushed, and the Phillies are going to lead it 4-0.
Now Harper sends one in the air, way back to right center. That one's gone. This place explodes. It's good. Right center field. Lightning strikes. Right field. Segura's out. Castellanos out. And the Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast. Colin Daly and Ben Goldstein. It was an exciting week for Phillies baseball. They took the first 2 of 3 against the Diamondbacks in the National League Championship Series. They have an opportunity to end this series in Arizona with 2 more wins. And if that does not come to fruition, they could take it back to Philadelphia, either in a nope, I lied. Up 1 or down 1. So time will tell.
Yeah, Phillies, I mean, other than game 3, they have been really the top dog in the series. I mean, they have absolutely dominated the Phillies offensively in games 1 and 2. Game 3, not so much, but the Phillies are they are destined right now to go to the World Series. They are 2 wins away as we enter game 4 tonight.
Yeah, I think that game 2 loss for Arizona is what's really going to end up, when you look back on this, hopefully, when you look back on this and Arizona has lost this series, that's going to be that real missed opportunity, because, they had an opportunity with Merrill Kelly going against an inconsistent Aaron Nola, and unfortunately, they were not able to capitalize on that. Now, Nola is one of those pitchers who it's not random, right? You can tell right off the bat, this is going to be a good Nola day. This is going to be a bad Nola day. I'd say like a solid 85, 90% of the time. An educated viewer can say, yep, Nola's got it today. Nope, it's going to be a long afternoon. And fortunately, Nola, his 2-seamer was absolutely incredible. I don't know if you saw the Pitching Ninja video, but there were some highlights. It was beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know if we can keep calling Nola inconsistent, because this postseason he has been unbelievable. He has been really, really, really good in all of his starts, and he's been really good ever since his Atlanta start, 2 starts before the postseason after that adjustment. So he has been really good. Now, Colin, I asked, I forget who I asked this on I think it was Gus on the pregame show the other day. Nola wants an 8-year, $200 million deal. Are you giving Aaron Nola, after the much success he has had this postseason and last postseason, are you giving him that contract this offseason? Or are you negotiating? Like, what does your ideal contract look like for Aaron Nola, and will he be a Philly next year?
Well, to be honest with you, Ben, I don't know if I can fairly answer that question right now, because I'm not totally sure what the Phillies cap space looks like. I don't know who they have going off the books. I mean, I have a general sense, right? I know Hoskins is an impending free agent. Whatever Nola's contract is right now is set to expire. Same with Kimbrel, who I know we owe $10 million, etc. But like I said, I don't know the full extent of that. And I also am not totally sure where they are with the luxury tax, because I definitely would not want to exceed that second threshold, which is when you're going to end up losing your draft pick by 10 spots. So for the Phillies, that would mean that they do not have a first-round pick next year. And in baseball, historically, has been one of the sports, like most sports, where the first-round draft picks tend to be significantly a higher success rate in the MLB than those who get drafted in later rounds. I mean, there are some anomalies there, like always, but I really don't think it's worth it to sacrifice that spot just so you can get one player. If you're going to go over it, you need to go well over it. I don't see the Phillies being huge spenders this offseason. They definitely should grab another starter and probably a reliever, as they're probably going to end up losing Craig Kimbrel. Do you think so? In summary, I'm probably not going to answer your question right now. I do think that is about a fair contract, though, for Wheeler. I think that equates to $25 million a year. well, it does equate to 25 million a year, and I think that is a fair number for Nola. I think 20 is what I would value him at, but I think getting him at 25 is what's probably going to end up happening.
A lot of people are saying that Aaron Nola could be a member of the New York Mets next season. Do you see it?
I don't. I don't think that the Cohen and Co. That's fun to say, Cohen and Co. I don't think Cohen and Co. are going to spend a ton this offseason. I think they realize that they need a rebuilding year. They've made that pretty publicly clear. I do think there are a lot of organizations where Nola could fit. The San Francisco Giants desperately need pitching. They had a lot of bullpen games this year. Their bullpen got tired down the stretch, which was truthfully one of the factors in their ultimate demise. I could also see the St. Louis Cardinals going after him. They have made it very clear that they intend to get back into postseason contention next season. They do not have a strong farm system in terms of power pitchers right now. They have some good bats, but their power pitchers with high strikeout numbers aren't really there, and Nola can be that guy for you. And they're also a large market team. So, like I said, the pitching market this offseason is going to be very sparse. So pitchers are definitely going to be costly come the end of the season.
All right, let's go back to the National League Championship Series. What we need to worry about. Let's go back to Game 1. Colin, how many pitches of this game did you watch?
0.
Come on.
I watched an inning and a half in this series. I'm very busy right now. That's okay though. Hey, truthfully, I haven't watched a Sixers or Flyers or Eagles game in over a year, and I know everything that's going on because of Elon Musk and his people. It's so scary, truthfully. I know about that, and just it's so weird how you get on that. Like I can tell you all about the Harden saga and Embiid and Maxey, and they was it Bev? Bev who got ejected and said things about Ben Simmons. I haven't turned on a Sixers game in probably since they were last in the playoffs.
So June or May?
Did they make it? No, I think it might have been the previous season. I don't think I watched them last postseason.
You didn't miss much.
What was the year? I don't know. I can't remember.
Anyway, Phillies.
I never watched the Eagles.
All right, Phillies. Anyway,
I do watch them.
Yeah, NLCS Game 1. Zach Wheeler pitched. He was great. He gave up 2 runs, which was on a 2-run home run. The one mistake he made all game. Other than that, he was really good. Everything was going right for him. Offensively, Schwarber hit a home run on the first pitch in the National Championship Series, and I was at that game. And what I was thinking when that ball went out is, this series is over. Like one pitch that the Diamondbacks do, and it's a Schwarber bomb on the first pitch. Like I didn't see the Diamondbacks coming back at all in this series after that pitch because I knew the Phillies were going to win that game. And especially with the crowd. The Phillies are yet to lose at Philadelphia in October. And I think I've officially convinced Colin that home field advantage matters.
Is it already in your head that the Phillies have won this series?
I think the Phillies will win this series. Whether that's in 5 or 6. But I just think they're a much better team than the Diamondbacks are, and this offense will respond from what happened in Game 3. This offense and this team is good. And they are so good when they get punched in the mouth. We saw it against the Braves last round, and we've seen it all season. That this team is just like, this team is not going to lose this series. They're not going to let the Arizona Diamondbacks take this momentum and take this series. So I think the Phillies are going to win this series in what I said 5, and it still can be 5. So anyway, back to Game 1. Hoskins hit a home run a few at bats later.
Wait, who hit a home run?
Harper, not Hoskins. Harper
you can't
hit
do
a home run a few pitches later. Castellanos went deep. He has had a postseason. Nick Castellanos hasn't really done much. He didn't hit any home runs in Game 2 or 3, but Maybe that'll come back in game 4 tonight. And then that was it for the off. The RBI dub, 2-run double, I think, from JT later in the game. So the Phillies won that game 5-3. Game 2 was the 10-0 game. The offense exploded. Aaron Nola was really good. Again, he's the man in October, and the Phillies just exploded. There was 2 Schwarber bombs. Trey Turner had a home run. Something with all these Phillies wins, if they have been getting out in front early and keeping that lead, we saw it in game 1 on the leadoff home run. We saw in game 2 with the home run on the second at bat, the 5th pitch of the ball game. The Phillies are taking these early leads and just riding that momentum throughout the whole game, and that is the key to success against this Diamondbacks team, and really in general. If you can get out to an early lead and keep it, you're going to win the ball game. You're going to win a lot of ball games like that. So the Phillies offense that exploded. Merrill Kelly was rattled. He didn't even think it was going to be that loud out there. It was loud. Phillies took game 2, 10-0. Game 3, the Phillies got 3 hits. The Diamondbacks walked it off. Really just weird. Ranger Suarez was very good. The offense, really bad. 3 hits against no runs against Brandon Pfaadt, which I did not expect Brandon Pfaadt to look like Cy Young, but he certainly looked really dang good out there in Arizona. And then the Phillies scored their 1 run on a wild pitch. The Diamondbacks scored on a Ryan Kirkring, who didn't look good. That was the first time I think I've seen a Ryan Kirkring not look good in his major league career. And it was really bad. He faced 3 batters, gave 3 hits and a run on an RBI double. So really bad outing from Orion. I would have maybe liked to see Seranthony Dominguez in that spot. He's been good. He's been all right this postseason. And he's obviously he has more experience in those spots than Orion Kirkring does. That was the first real situation Orion's gotten himself in the postseason, where it's a tight game, late innings. I think Seranthony could have gone in that spot. Jose Alvarado shut the door. Jeff Hoffman pitched well. And then the Phillies lost in the 9th. Craig Kimbrell did not pitch well. He only got 1 out, and it was a great play by Trey Turner and a great tag by JT Realmuto. So he got lucky that he got an out in that inning. Ketel Marte walked it off. So the Phillies, through 3 games, have a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series, and they cannot let Game 3 feed over into the rest of the series, and they cannot let the Diamondbacks take over advantage. But personally, I am not concerned with the Game 3 loss. I just think it's annoying because, well, the Phillies have chances to win the game if they got, hits.
They did not need a lot either, did they? They only needed 1 or 2 more.
No, they really did not. But Arizona, that stadium gives such a weird vibe. How dark it is, like how ugly it is. The outfield is weird. It's just an ugly, bad stadium. And it's bad for baseball that the National League Championship Series is being played there. Like, if you're going to make it, at least have a nice stadium. Like last NLCS, we had 2 of the best stadiums in Major League Baseball. The Petco Park and Citizens Bank Park. 2 fantastic stadiums. It's a great stadium matchup. This year, horrible stadium matchup. Chase Field is terrible.
That's fair. The best part of Game 2 was, Ben?
What?
Garrett Stubbs got to catch an inning.
He should have gotten that bat.
Did.
He should have gotten that bat.
They could have done I guess it's not really called a double switch anymore, but they could have had him bat for one of the guys top the lineup and bring in like Cave to play first and
pinch hit.
Realmuto.
Yeah, they could have done it. Cave pinch hit for Schwarber though, so they already used him.
Right, so I'm saying like they could have had Stubbs hit there.
True. And then Cave in the game.
Yeah, that means I think that means come out.
It would have been an awesome reaction from the crowd. That would have been awesome.
This is true. Because when you go in the field, you don't really get that much.
Yeah, because nobody really sees that you're out there until they're like, "Oh, look, Stubby's in the game." But
especially when you're the catcher, and they all look the same because they're geared up.
Nobody knows who's in there except, Stubbs and Realmuto look pretty different. JT is huge. True. Stubbs is pretty. He's a little smaller, but stubby. Yeah, you can say that he's a little stubby. But yeah. So Colin, are you anywhere concerned
about what happened last night?
About the series?
No, not at all. First of all, Well, I got a list here. One,
Oh boy.
Lord and Savior Chris Sanchez is on the mound tonight, so we're all good there. That's gonna
We'll
be
talk
five
about that
shutout.
later.
That's gonna be 5 shutout innings.
Wow.
2, the Diamondbacks offense is nowhere near as deep as the Phillies offense, and their bullpen is probably not going to hold up, having used a lot of their top guys last night, whereas the Phillies still have some flamethrowers that they can go to in the back of the bullpen. And 3, it's a bullpen game for Arizona. There's no way that they win tonight and tomorrow. The Phillies will take at least one of these games, which gives them a very, very good opportunity if they have to go back to Philadelphia. So I'm not saying the Phillies are going to win the next 2 games, but I'm saying I'm not concerned for the series as a whole in general. Now, again, would I be surprised if the Phillies went on to win the next 2 games? Not at all.
Yeah, I have no concern. I think the Phillies can win the next 2 games in Arizona. I think in game 4, which is tonight, I think the Phillies can. The Diamondbacks, as you said, used a lot of their big arms last night, and I think the Phillies are going to jump over their bullpen tonight. Obviously, Arizona is a weird stadium; you're not going to get the ball out of the yard. But if you get some RBI doubles, some singles, you get drives. If you just drive some guys in, you make these pitchers work it deep in that bullpen, waste some guys for tomorrow. That's your goal tonight. You got to win You got to win the game. It's a must-win game for both of these teams. And you just got to dig into that Diamondbacks bullpen, get some of these guys to work. And then maybe in game 5, when Zach Gallen is back on the mound, you can maybe jump on him a little bit. And then they really don't have much left in that bullpen. And then you can go out and win a National League. Also, Christopher Sanchez tonight, the absolute right choice to go tonight. Would much rather have him out there than Taijuan Walker, who thankfully will not see the mound in the postseason in 2023.
Who's going to come in after Sanchez?
Zach Wheeler.
What? Tonight?
Yeah. Oh, tonight. They won't do that. They're not going to piggyback.
I don't know. It'll be another game tomorrow.
Lorenzen.
No.
I mean, you can maybe put
Ray comes in tonight. This podcast is gonna go bankrupt. You know why? Because I ain't gonna live through it, and there's only gonna be one host. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, we won't go bankrupt. Bankrupt is
sorry, that was the wrong term. This podcast will go bye-bye because unless you find another co-host, because I won't make it through a Lorenzen appearance.
We'll see what happens. This Diamondbacks offense isn't good, but it's probably going to be the same Diamondbacks lineup out there again. And Christopher Sanchez, I think, is going to be good. Christopher Sanchez he's been the Phillies' most consistent starter. He hasn't pitched since September 30th, which was a long time ago. So yeah, I mean, it should. I'm going to like what I like what I see from Sanchez, and he said he's going to be ready. So he's going to be ready for game 4, and then game 5, Phillies can go win a National League championship for the second year in a row, Colin. The Phillies can be back in the World Series.
So I want to go back to something you mentioned a couple seconds ago. So the Diamondbacks are throwing a bullpen game tonight. They have to use what? At least, I mean, I would say minimum 5 to 6 pitchers, right? So I don't know if they have any guys who are really going to be stretched out enough to go super long. I mean, you got Mantiply started, and have they used Nelson yet in this series? I think they might have.
I think one of the earlier games they used him. I remember seeing his name.
Yeah, so I think he might be stretched out a little bit. So I would expect the Diamondbacks to go all in tonight. This is their opportunity to win, right? If they win tonight, it's a brand new series, and they have a home game coming up. They're in a great spot if they win tonight. So there's no reason why they wouldn't put all their marbles in the pot right now, right? So if I'm the Phillies, I'm playing defense tonight. Just making sure that they don't get too far ahead, worrying about the time at the moment, right? Making sure that Sanchez gets through the first inning, keeps runs off the board, let the Phillies offense do the Phillies offense. We know what it's capable of. We know who's in it. We know the Bryce Harper and Schwarber and Castellanos and Turner and Marsh and Rojas. And who am I missing? Bohm and Stott can all carry the offense. We need 2 or 3 of those 9 guys to step up. And the Phillies shouldn't have an issue tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just if the Phillies don't win this game, I don't know what they're gonna. I mean, Diamondbacks will still everybody will 2 wins away, and there's still 2 games in Philadelphia. And considering with how the first 2 games went, the Diamondbacks have no chance at Citizens Bank Park. No shot. That was the first time any of them ever played in an atmosphere like that, other than Evan Longoria, who really has not done anything in this series. So I think the Phillies will win the series. The Phillies are still going to go to the World Series. If not, there will be some serious problems that we will have to take care of. But I'm not even going there. The Diamondbacks are a good team, but they are nowhere close to the Phillies. And Colin is currently putting on a Phillies hat that he looks like he bought from BJ's in 2012. Wow.
Signed by Aaron Nola.
Oh, look at that.
I don't think it fits my head, though.
How exciting. Oh, boy.
That looks terrible, doesn't it? Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
while Colin puts that on,
he
gets suited up for Game 4 of the World, not the World Series, the National League Championship Series.
Oh, Ben, you can't say that. You jinx us now.
Sponsor for the podcast in episode, what is it? Episode 42, Jackie Robinson.
Oh, I was going to say J-Rob there.
Yeah, very exciting. Jackie Robinson, this podcast is dedicated to you. This podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticketing app that makes it so easy to buy your tickets. All you got to do, download the SeatGeek app, and you just go to Phillies Sports Report at SeatGeek. What are you doing, Colin?
I'm currently looking up a Savant page for Johan Rojas, but I'm going to, after that, use SeatGeek to buy my tickets. I'm going to hold it. Oh, I'm sorry. I knew what you meant. Hold that S.
Hold the S. When you type in Phillies Sports
Zip it up.
Zip it. So thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring.
I love pens and zipper pockets.
I'm wearing some right now.
Your ad read. Whoopsies.
Yeah, that's all right. So thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring episode 42 and the whole podcast, and for sponsoring Philly Sports as a whole. We appreciate that. And also, a new sponsor of the Philly Sports Network is FOCO. So click on the link in the description of the podcast and the YouTube video to save 10% off any SeatGeek order, or use code PSR10 at FOCO and save 10% off all in-stock orders, excluding overalls and bracelets. Excluding. You cannot use the code for overalls and bracelets.
Why's that?
Hey, FOCO's got to make money.
So do we.
I guess what I got. Guess what I ordered or got put in for me the other day.
Overalls?
Benjamin Goldstein will be getting overalls very soon.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing.
FOCO is great, and they are putting an order for me for overalls. So hopefully they will be with me soon. They're currently on pre-order and are saying like late November. So hopefully they come in before then.
That's rough.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you for FOCO for sponsoring Philly Sports. Now, Colin, you are pulling up Johan Rojas's baseball savant.
Did you know that he
is sucked in the postseason, Colin?
Well, did you know that if he played only in Houston, he'd have 4 home runs this season?
So he's hitting the ball well in the wrong stadiums, is what you're trying to tell me.
No. I'm just telling you that I am fascinated by random irrelevant things on Savant, essentially. Right. But the reason I went on here is because I had while you were doing the ad read, that's my time to have crazy inside thoughts because that's just how I am. And he hit that home run pretty far. So of course I was like, I haven't seen Johan Rojas's Savant page now that he has enough data to compile some offensive statistics, and spoiler alert, they're not very good. He doesn't walk out. He strikes out. He chases. Not a great sweep spot percentage. Not a good hard hit percentage. A very, very bad barrel percentage. Average exit velocity is not very good either. X slug is very bad. Expected batting average is very average. and his ex-WOBA is not great either. But he's got a great arm.
Yeah, he could play some great defense.
His spray chart is so interesting though. It's everywhere. He doesn't really get many singles to left field. Lots of doubles, but he also that. I gotta watch this video. See, this is what happens here. This is why I can't use these things. I get so fascinated by the most random stuff.
So opponents versus Chris. I just saw a stat from Scott Lauber of the Inquirer. Opponents versus Christopher Sanchez's changeup, with slash line of 148, 167, and 274. The league average versus changeups is 239, 287, and 382. But the Diamondbacks against changeups, their slash line's 242, 282, and 387. So the Diamondbacks
that means nothing.
Hey, Christopher Sanchez has a good changeup. The Diamondbacks have changeups above league average in almost every category. So, it looks like Gabriel Moreno hits 324 off of changeups. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hits 305 off of changeups. Christian Walker hits 275 off the changeups. Gialdo Perdomo also hits 275 off the changeups. That's something to keep your eye out for. Diamondbacks hit changeups above league average. So maybe they'll hit Sanchez's really good changeup. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Also, I have another question for you. There's been a lot of debate about this with Alec Boehm's struggles and Rob Thompson keeping him in the 4 spot in the lineup. Would you move Alec Boehm out of the 4 spot, and who would you replace him with, or are you not changing what's not broken?
You know what my answer is going to be. You should guess it first.
Don't change what's not broken. That's the right answer. You saw Rob Thompson change the lineup, 2 times last postseason against the lefty? Other than that, it was the same exact thing.
Yeah, and our 87-win team made it to the World Series, so yeah, I'm not changing anything.
And Castellanos hit 5th in that postseason, and he couldn't hit the ball to save his life. And now Alec Boehm batting 4th. I mean, who would you replace him with? Nick Castellanos, JT Mito, but they are hitting so good in that 6th and 7th, that 6th and 7th spot. So that just don't mess with the lineup. Keep it how it is. Alec Boehm.
I mean,
Alec Boehm's that type of player that's going to start hitting as well. So
I agree. I mean, Marsh has been an okay bat last time I checked.
He's been locked in. He's been very good.
Yeah, Marsh has been hitting pretty well. So I mean, I wouldn't be heartbroken to see him move up in the lineup, but not at the 4 spot. Yeah, I'm not totally sure to that because Stott hasn't been hitting either.
Yeah,
he hasn't been good. No, Muto's hit well.
Though Daycare has not hit well in the postseason, especially in the NLCS.
Rojas has been brutal. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Well, I'll say, I believe he's 2 for 30 something. Is that right?
It's around there.
I don't know if it should be that bad. He's hit into some hard outs, but it's not like he's currently hitting 070 and he should be hitting 250. It's like he's hitting 070 and he should be hitting like 110. So, yeah, he's been a disaster. However, I think the defense is valuable, but he needs to be pristine out there. He can't afford to make a mistake. The second he makes an error, his defensive validity decreases.
Yeah. He had an interesting play in Game 3. He never played at this ballpark before, and it was like his ball going up against the wall that he jumped for, but he probably shouldn't have jumped for. He probably just played off the wall. I mean, he just missed it. Definitely could have been caught, but I don't know if he should have done that. He gets the extra bag there. So that was like a weird play from Rojas. It wasn't an error. He didn't touch the ball, but still like kind of a weird play. But his defense has been incredible. But his offense has been anything but incredible. But he's really
which is strange because he hit 300 in the regular season. Now, again, he had some very, very lucky hits in the regular season. His expected batting average was in the 240s. I just read it off a couple minutes ago. but it was definitely not this bad. He seems nervous. I would almost go as far as saying he seems overprepared. He seems like he's thinking about hitting way too much, and he doesn't really have that feel that a lot of the elite hitters have. Now, I don't think he's going to become an elite hitter, but he definitely seems to be very robotic or very programmed with his approach right now. And I think being able to adjust it during the at bat, especially against better pitching, like your Seawalds, your Gallons, your Kellys, is very important.
All right, so we have to wrap up this podcast soon. Colin, Phillies.
Oh, it's that time, isn't it?
They're 2 wins away from the World Series. Will they do it? And you said 6 games in episode 41. Is it still 6 games?
It is.
Now you know what you do. You follow up that question and ask me my opinion.
That's right. What is your prediction, boss?
I said 5. First episode, episode 41. And I'm still saying 5.
I hope you're right, because I really, really want to reset some pitching.
Yeah, that's for sure. I would really appreciate a week off before the World Series. And also, here's my question: we might not have another podcast until the end of the National Championship Series. Who knows what's going to happen with the NLCS? What a series over there! We're tied up at 2 through 4 games. Game 5 is also tonight. Who do you have in that series between the Astros and the Rangers?
Texas.
They both play in Texas.
That was the point. No, I'm going to go with the Rangers. I just think it's their year. The Astros have to lose something eventually. I mean, sure, are they good? Absolutely, but their luck's going to run out at some point. I mean, winning the World Series is partially luck.
Oh.
Okay, so hold on. So if we replayed postseason in 2022, do you think that the Astros would have won it?
All about getting hot at the right time, man. It's all about getting hot at the right time. Playing good.
There's some luck in that.
All right, there's luck in everything. But anyway,
could have gotten hot during the beginning of the regular season and ended up being a 95-win team, but no, they decided they wanted to, boycott under Joe Badder's job.
All right. Anyway, we got to wrap this up. Phillies versus Rangers World Series would be very fun. I also would not like to see the Astros again because they're the only team in baseball that knows how to win in Citizens Bank Park in the postseason. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys for watching episode number 42 of the Bell Ringers podcast, brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Philly Sports Support. Take $20 off your first purchase. Follow us on all of our social medias. Twitter/X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Threads. YouTube, subscribe and like. Thank you for watching on there. Podcast apps, rate us. And thank you for listening. We will be back with you later in the series, hopefully recapping the NLCS and moving on to the World Series. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next episode. Go Phils!
Go Phils.